What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Rewriting the Script. I'm your host, Sasha, and this is where we spark change, ignite hope, and empower you to take control. And on today's episode, we got a special guest. We got my friend, Duffy.
What's the deal? What's the deal?
What's going on?
I'm doing good. I'm glad to be a guest on the podcast. Hopefully, I'm writing a new chapter in the book that's already been started by you. So I'm glad to be here.
Period. Yes, I'm glad to have you, and thank you for coming today.
Of course.
So we're going to hop right into it.
Okay.
And so tell us a little bit about what you do.
Yeah. As Sasha said, my name is Duffy or Andre, whichever you prefer. I am a community relations consultant, and by building relationships, I am able to solve problems. You know, architecting ideas into solutions is like my framework of how I like to put it. Started my company, Duffy Enterprise, in 2020, and ever since then, been able to work with different groups of nonprofit organizations, different type of thought leaders, and for-profit institutions. And this is my second year working within the youth development space. So I also am a internship program lead with Urban Alliance. It's a workforce development program that's been around for 27 years, and I work within the Detroit region. So between community relations, community engagement, business development, that's like my sweet spot. And then I'm also the co-founder of Just Create with my boy E. Michael, and that's a little bit about me. I'm a Detroit baby, so I'm glad to be here in the city. And just continuing the impact. So that's about it.
And so, what is, so before all this, how did you get, how did this come about? What got you into what you're doing now?
I definitely say my upbringing. I'm blessed to have two wonderful parents. You know, my mom and my dad, both dual degree individuals. And seeing that growing up, I always knew, excellence is like the bare minimum of what I, am being brought into, which is a blessing. And then on top of that, I've always just been very self-motivated, very ambitious, always wanted the best for myself. Started off with sports as like my gateway into leadership, team building, and then that turned into me having an interest in business. My dad was the first business owner that I knew of. He's owned his consulting company for almost 2 decades now. So seeing it firsthand what it's like to have not only a dad that's a business owner, but also somebody who is a mentor to you as well. Like my dad is like one of my best friends, my mentor, obviously my father. So at a young age, I always knew that I wanted to be a business person. I just didn't know what it would look like as I grew up. Right. So I did, do a lot of reading throughout high school and college, podcasts, and then it wasn't until I went to Michigan State University where I did things on my own. I started hosting parties, going viral on social media, and it really maximized my personal brand. So ever since I was a little kid, I always knew I had a bright spirit. I was very people-oriented, very personable, always dancing. Yeah. Some of the same stuff I do now,
right.
So ain't nothing really changed just besides the, age, which is, always a blessing, just getting older and being able to still have fun with it.
Yeah.
So I think for me, I got into a point where it was, now that I'm 27 years old and I built up this company, it's kind of like, what does this future look like for me? So it really just started seeing what my parents did, my family did, and then kind of like making my own lane. And then that's essentially where, you get Duffy, always betting big on myself and doing the best that I can to be an impact player within the city of Detroit and also anywhere that I'm blessed to go.
Right. That's what's up. So, it seems, so what I'm hearing, you had, good role models.
100%.
Growing up and stuff. And, you ain't really have to, how somebody, some people be having to fight to get where they going and trying to going or whatever. Do you think because I think that's a great thing. Some people always think that we gotta struggle to go get what we want or whatever, and it's a bad thing. It's a bad thing when our parents set us up to do good and do better when that's how it should be.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have to struggle. I understand people sometimes that is people's story, but not everybody's story is the struggle way. And so, do you feel like for you, it wasn't like the struggle way to get to where you was trying to go?
Yeah, I would definitely say that with anybody growing up, you have your times of discomfort. Mm-hmm. You have times where they aren't the best, and I had those growing up between my mom and or my dad. So there were times where we did, struggle or had it hard for a period of time. It wasn't lasting, but I think in those moments it does show you a lot about your character as well as the character that your parents possess, because we were blessed to get through those things.
Right.
And it's also just a part of the development of my story.
Yeah.
And I think that if I didn't have those opportunities to experience them, how I experienced them, it wouldn't have molded me into the person I am today, to be able to learn from it, or at least not want them to be resurface when I'm blessed to have kids. I don't want to go through those times that were unfortunate for me. Right. So let me do what I need to do to make sure that I, like you said, bring in my kids to an environment that's happy, that's loving, and safe and fun for them. Yeah. So I do think that growing up, despite having struggles, it did kind of shape, the upbringing of just me and my siblings.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So, and what you do today, what, do you feel like, what is the hardest part of what, being in business and with everything that you do?
It's a good question. I think one of the hardest things is learning how to relearn yourself. Mm-hmm. And I think for me is I'm constantly monitoring my walk in terms of where am I at with God, and what is it that I'm doing that I am supposed to be doing, and what is it that I'm not doing right now that I should be doing. So I think between those two is constant change, but also being comfortable as the change comes, because that just means you're growing into the person that you are meant to be. Right. But also learning that I have to leave behind those things that may have been comfortable before or were a part of my journey at that point in time, but then you got to let go in order to bring in the new. So I think for me, it's just balancing those two, just balancing, my relationship with God and the things that I want, along with just being comfortable within the person I am every day. Because you're getting older every day, every year. So it's you're changing. But it's knowing what that change looks like and how to be comfortable and be happy with that.
Right.
I think that's a challenge, just because you don't see, you don't know what you're going to experience. Yeah. You can't tell the future. So it's you just got to prepare for the best.
Yeah. Or where you going to. Sometimes it's what I know, we all know we're supposed to have faith, and we talk about, we encourage each other, just to have faith in God. But sometimes, being honest, it get hard because, you don't know what's ahead,
100%.
And it's our human instinct to just be, scared and worried about what is up ahead, or even if you gonna get wherever God is, gonna take you.
I agree.
So that's definitely, I could understand that. Because, I think for me, that's change is so uncomfortable. And like you said, things never stop changing.
Never.
Ever. So you got to get used to me. I think I talked about this before, not on the podcast, but I had a conversation with somebody, and I was like, I don't think that we were I don't think God made us to be comfortable. I really do believe he made life for us to be uncomfortable. And meaning not in a bad way, but meaning, if we think about it, whenever we get comfortable with something, we stay there. We don't move. But when things start to get uncomfortable and stuff, sometimes we ain't got no choice but to move. You know. So I feel you on that. Where you coming from?
Man.
So and then so what do you think, okay, so what are some things that you have tried to do or have done to overcome those things, those challenges?
A lot of self-work, going to therapy, making sure my health is in order. So going to the gym, picking up hobbies. A big thing is surrounding myself with the right people, having good friends, having good communities. And I say communities more than one, because every pocket of people is going to be different than the next. Yeah. And so you want to be able to have different places where you can go to experience and express different versions of who you are. So like I have, my business side, then I got my chess side, then I got, obviously my just create, then I got Duffy. So it's like every pocket, some people might intersect, some people might not, but it's just knowing where you can go in order for that version of you to just fully be embraced. And you also taking in what other people have to offer, so that way you can be a vessel for them. I think every community that I'm in, I do my best to make sure I'm being a servant too. So that way it's not just I'm taking from it. You know what I'm saying? So I think that helps out a lot in terms of my personal journey, is just having community, having a place where I can take care of myself, both mind, physically, spiritually, and honestly, a lot of it's just having fun. Sometimes you just gotta take a load off, kick your feet up, like, hey, today I am not doing nothing. I might just drink some lemonade and chill, watch some Netflix and DoorDash and call it a day. Like, some of those days, my best days. But it's also just knowing that you want to make every day count. So it's just having that mixture of things to look at as avenues for me to release and, just build up confidence and things like that. So I would say, like, that's what helps and what keeps me, keeps the engine going.
Yeah, definitely community. I agree with that for sure. Because, like, when I came to y'all, the first Just Create, I'm like, I ain't come here to start a podcast.
I'm screaming.
I'm like, I really was coming, like, just to be around, like people who believed in God, and, like, just to have more friendships surrounded by God or whatever. And I'm like, ever since I've been coming, that's why I come to everyone, because literally, like, I'm like, it helps. It does help. It genuinely helps. You get a lot of information. You could use a lot of that information, and it's just so many like-minded people, and you gain new friends, new people, and I feel like when you are around people who are like-minded, it gives you a push as well. And sometimes too, other people, when you try to talk to somebody who ain't really into what you into or don't understand, it's like they don't really care. They blow you off.
It's an instant repellent. You're like, this not going to work out.
So, community is so important. And, even, that's biblical. We need community. So, for sure, community. And then what do you think, like, for you is, like, the best part of the business aspect?
Best part of the business aspect, I think just knowing that I want to build something that is beyond my own interests. I want to build things, companies, organizations, systems that other people can benefit from. I always think about what the Duffy Enterprise can look like in 5 to 10 years if I plan things out properly, if I do the learning and be able to equip other people to do certain things. That's what I think about, because essentially you want to make money, which is the tool, but at the same time, I think the biggest impact is how can you help somebody's life change, in a positive way. Whether that be through gaining a client or putting somebody on a payroll or 1099, whatever it may be. I just know that is something that I think about is, like, the best thing about business, is just knowing that it's a constant, like, same with life, it's a constant change. You got to be ready for the good, you got to be ready for the bad. Everything ain't going pretty, everything gonna be ugly. It's like you got to find your way to just have, like, that even keel attitude. And I think, like, with business, that definitely helps out a lot. Just knowing that, one, I started it with a purpose and goal in mind, and then over time, I just continue to develop it, sharpen it, and bring more people to the table to help me make it sustainable. And then you just always have fun throughout the way. There's so many times where I've been blessed and fortunate to be in certain rooms just off of the strength of having, good rapport with people. And I think that goes a long way. You keep your name clean, it does you justice in the long run.
Definitely. That's for sure. And character. 100%. Like, what when it comes to, like, character, do you feel like, people should always, like, we should always work on our character?
I think that you should always walk into any room being your authentic self. You could always work on yourself. Like, that's something that should never stop. You should always work on, things that you want to improve upon yourself. I think that that's something that's going to happen in life.
Yeah.
And I do think that your character is something that you should always monitor based off of the people that you are, that how people are receptive to you is a good indicator, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So by working on your character, you'll notice it, and not in a way where you want to be manipulative. I'm about to make myself this way so that way I can get these things in return. It's more so of saying I want to be a better person because I don't want to be alone, or I want better friends. It's kind of like, it starts inside. It starts with you. So if you go out your way to be a more kind person, you will attract people who want to essentially be kind to you because that's exactly what you exude. Yeah. So I think it goes hand in hand. So the more you work on yourself and for the better, I think the return comes back the same way.
Yeah, that's true. I think, like, I always used to be scared to be myself. I feel like I'm just now being myself as a grown adult woman.
Sure, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no, I know, like, and it's never too late, like, to change or start over or learn, because you're going to always, like, be learning and unlearning, so especially, like, because I'm reparenting myself, too, But I used to always be scared of myself. I mean, not scared of myself, but to be myself, because I used to be scared of how people would perceive me. You know what I'm saying? And like,
that's real.
I know I'm really goofy. Like, I'm really, really goofy. So I'm only goofy around people. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I know you like real. Ebony, I'll be goofy around her. But if I'm just meeting you for the first time, I ain't gonna be that.
Okay, that's real.
So like it take me a minute, to warm up. But I have to. I think for me, I have to feel safe, like around people. That's my issue. And I think just because, I've been traumatized, and so for me, I have to feel safe enough to be around certain, bring out certain characteristics that I know I have.
Okay.
So
I think that's true, and I think one thing that you pointed out is who you can do that with. Like you say, like safety is a big thing, but there's also the factor of, if I show my goofy side to you, are you gonna look at me awkward, or are you gonna laugh and be like, girl, you so crazy, and then be part of that process moving forward? And I think that's a good thing to know, because some people will think that they have that person that they can rely on or show that side to, and then unfortunately that doesn't turn out to be the case, because they weren't being their authentic selves. They weren't being receptive to it. But I think it works hand in hand. It allows you to know who to stay away from, and allow you to know who to kind of like gravitate towards too. So like you talked about, like, you can share your side with Ebony and versus like a random person that you meet. But I think that's a good thing. You gotta have your comfort spaces.
Yeah, that's good.
Shout out to Ebony.
Right. Okay, so you said that you got chess club, right?
Yeah, I'm a part of Wise Guys Chess Club. It's a nonprofit here in Detroit.
Okay, so let's talk about that.
Let's talk about it.
What's that about?
So Arthur Johnson, the founder and executive director, he started the organization, and the whole goal was to raise awareness through the game of chess by also focusing on critical thinking, community engagement, and different ways to rehabilitate the mind, because not a lot of times people realize that chess is similar to life. And one of our quotes is that he got from his uncle is, if you can learn to master your board, you can master your world.
Okay.
So for us, it's all about taking things one move at a time. So making your next move your best move. And with the organization, we have different ways to engage within the community, and most importantly, our students. Okay. So right now, during the summertime, we have our youth chess camp, which is housed in July through August, and it's Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then we also have our weekly community event, which is on Wednesdays, called Wisdom Wednesday, at the Robert C. Valad Park, right next to the amphitheater, or Shane Park. And then this upcoming Saturday, July 19th, we have an organization called Make a Move LA. Okay. That'll be coming to Detroit to put together the tournament, which will be cash prize of $10,000 from 12 to 4. So we do a mixture of different ways to not only engage within the community, but use chess as a tool to teach people, build relationships, help understand different ways to problem solve, be a better thinker. So it's just so many different things you can tie to chess that's equivalent to looking at, life. And I've been a part of the organization going on 4 years now. Me and Arthur have been friends. That's like my brother for real. So That's my guy. So we've been tight for a long time, and we just love doing things for our people. We have a solid name in the city of Detroit, and the fact that we can bring in another organization from all the way across on the West Coast to come fellowship with us says a lot about our intentions on having different type of ways to immerse our culture with other people, and then turn around and do the same thing. It's like we want to be able to go to LA and then bring the Wise Guys crew. So that's the goal for next year.
Okay. I like that you got so many organizations, like especially like for kids.
Oh yeah, I feel like a lot of times, a lot of the things I've always been a part of have been like youth driven. I was part of youth programs and youth org growing up, and I saw the impact it had on me. So as I got older, I knew like, all right, well, it's almost was like instant. Like, okay, this is what I want to do. I started youth mentoring when I was a senior in high school. So it's always been a part of me. And I think as I've gotten older, I just found different pockets to impact, and it always had to be my name as like the creator, founder. But as long as I'm doing the work, I mean, I'm good.
Yeah, because everything starts with the kids. We need that with the kids.
They need our help.
Yeah, for sure, especially now. Like it's a lot going on, and you never know, like just by what one thing that you could do, like just to help a kid or what they go through at home. Some kids we don't be knowing what they be having going on at home. So sometimes stuff like that be their safe space.
It does,
and can help them. In the community. So I think that's pretty dope what you're doing.
Thank you. Got to come out.
Yeah, and then with so because you talked about therapy earlier, right?
Yes.
And because you're a male.
Yes.
And how do you and we talk about, like, I promote mental health a lot and stuff. So how do you feel like, going to therapy has helped you, if you don't mind?
Yeah. It has helped me tremendously because I have a space where I can go to that's uninterrupted, unfiltered, and I can just literally just let it all out. I might cry, I might get mad, I might get frustrated, and it's not held against me. It might be documented, but it's not held against me.
Right.
So for me, it's just something that I found as extremely beneficial to like my well-being, and I started regularly going to therapy, I would say, in 2023, going to 24. That was like when I started really having strong sessions. I built a good relationship with my therapist. Her name is Crystal. That is somebody who has been helping me for a couple of years now. And even before, I would use different psychiatric services that were a part of Michigan State services. So I've always had somewhere I could go, whether that be a facility or an actual psychiatrist or a therapist. There is a difference. A psychiatrist can actually prescribe you medication, and a therapist, and they essentially that's one of the biggest differences. Is a psychiatrist can actually prescribe you medication based off of what they see fit based off of like neurological. It's like chemical balances or whatever. And then therapy, they're more so there for like the emotional side, for support. But both of them are very valuable in their own sense.
Do you think it has helped you, like, or even before, I don't know, like before you started therapy, gain emotional intelligence?
Yeah, 100%. I think that I'll use this story. 2017, I was in a relationship, and then I think I had a breakdown, and I like punched the wall to the point where it's like I think I bruised like my wrist or something. It hurt. And I think that was my first time where I actually went to go talk to somebody. And it was this, this white guy at the counseling and psychiatric services, or CAPS, at Michigan State. And we talked about it. We talked about like the breakup. We talked about what happened. That was my first time really being like, this is what it's like to talk to somebody. And at first it's kind of weird, but now I'm like, I was just opening myself up to it. And that was the first time I really was like, all right, I guess it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
But then I think in 2019, 2020, that's when I really dove deep into it because of, breakup, diagnosis, and just really not being in the best mental state. That was also during the pandemic. Spent a lot of time indoors and closed to myself. So the mind was in 3,000 different places. Yeah. So for me, it definitely was a positive reinforcement that, hey, you can only be the best version of yourself if you allow other people to help. And I think that was me giving myself the, that like my own confirmation, like, yeah, it's okay.
Definitely. So same for me, like with therapy. And then too, it's important to have like the right therapist. Not every therapist
for sure.
I'm sorry, y'all, I'm talking too low. Not every therapist is for you. So it's important to have the right therapist as well. But for me, my therapist has helped me acknowledge my emotions and also to break down what I'm actually feeling, because like I will say, oh, I think versus I feel. Like I will always say, oh, I feel, but it's really what I'm saying when I'm thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like thinking and feeling is two different things. You know what I'm saying? So she would help me break it down. Like, no, that's what you think. She like, we trying to figure out how you feel. And that's so important, because if you really don't know how you feel or what you're feeling in that moment, you really can like make a decision that's not good in that moment. And also too, you're never going to figure out the problem. Like I've learned that we always got to figure out why you're reacting a certain way, or why what you feeling is what you feeling, and why you feeling that, because then you're never going to figure it out or be able to get to the root of the problem.
It's always the core.
Yeah, so therapy, like when I hear somebody, and I'm not being judgmental or judgy towards, because some people don't believe in therapy, but I don't see how you cannot, or when somebody say, oh, therapy's not for me, or it didn't work for me, or whatever. I truly believe that just mean you didn't try, or you just quickly gave up. Or some people too, you don't be ready, and that's okay if you're not ready either, because you'll go to therapy and you'll hear something that you don't want to hear, and it make you not want to go no more.
The trigger,
yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't that it's not working, it's just you're not ready. Because I remember I was talking to my friend one day, and he was like, I don't like therapy. Therapy is just not for me. I tried it, and, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, I think that's because you heard something you ain't want to hear, and, you're just not ready, which is cool, too. But therapy works. It definitely works if you'll
get read, for sure.
Yeah, and if you're receptive to hearing what the person has to say, and you ready to do something about it. But if you're not ready, of course, it's not going to work, because you're gonna think everything is against you, or they're...
It's like you think somebody's like being combative with you.
Yeah, So I truly believe like everybody should do therapy, even if nothing's wrong.
Yeah.
Like I'll go to therapy, and even like if I'm having a good week or something, I never skip therapy, because, it's just so important to me. That's something I don't play with. And it also has helped me just go through life right now. It's been helping me go through my life right now. And I don't think that I could. I mean, I could live life.
It just would be different.
It's just like, it would be different. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's totally so important. Like, So
I feel the same way.
Men, like, a lot of men be what I am happy about is we're in an era now where men are finally like opening that door to receive therapy and get mental help and stuff. Like it's starting to get popular and good. It is. So, what advice would you give a male or anyone who like is kind of scared of therapy, or to go and get some help for their mental health?
Yeah, I think my first piece of advice would just to be, one, take a deep breath. Like for
That's
me,
important.
I breathe a lot, and I obviously as a human, if you don't breathe, you die. But I'm just saying, like I literally practice breathing. I think a lot of times people don't take the time to just like hey, take a deep breath, like just take the moment in and just be present. That was like my first, like, be present. And then I think after that was be comfortable in knowing that you don't have to live with trauma or emotions and suppress feelings as a way to defend yourself. Because essentially, that's it's like a defense mechanism. Yeah. You don't have to live like that. It's way more freeing to release it than hold it in. And I think the best way to do that is to go to the professionals, go to the people who are literally there. They want to help you. And I think the difficult thing is you can't make anybody do anything. Right. So the best thing I can do is just use myself as an example. So that's what I like to do, is just be very vulnerable, and I'm outspoken about my journey. I've posted about it, I've shared about it, I've written about it, and I think that shows people that I'm no more or less human than the next person. Yeah. And I think that allows people to understand that we're all on the same playing field. Yeah. Just because somebody has spent more years in therapy than you doesn't mean that they aren't still working through their issues or the things that they feel as though were hindering their growth. Right. So I think it's just take a deep breath. Just it's okay to be it sounds cliche, but it really is okay to not be okay. Yeah. And, no. Just, yes. and just go forward with that as your. That's how you lead into therapy. It's like, hey, I don't think I'm doing the best, but I'm also here to understand why. Right. Like, just be open-minded and just be okay with, whatever may happen, certain circumstances, because you don't know how better off you will be. Yeah. By taking that first step. It's always the first step. First step is always the most difficult, but once you do it, I think it turns out the best for sure. Yeah, for sure, definitely. That do be the hardest part. The hardest part, just doing the first step. It's just like anything. It's like, I want to learn how to do this. The first thing is to just actually just start. Yes, and once you start, I promise, it's just like, okay, it wasn't that bad. Literally. Like, stuff be a breeze, you know. And then too, like when you just said, dang, what was my point? I'm so mad because my point just went just already said stuff sounds be a breeze, and then I don't want to put words into your mouth. After that. Yeah. Dang, I'm mad because the thought just went left. I was gonna add something to what you were saying about therapy. It's gonna come back to you. Oh, okay, I remember now. Told you. So yeah. When you say, like, it's okay to not have everything together and it's okay to not be okay, definitely, because when I first started, I just thought I had to have everything, had to be okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to be fully healed. I had to be fully over this. And I think I found through my journey that the best thing is that, like, being authentic and being honest with my audience about where I'm at in life. Yep. Like, I go through it just like y'all. I have my bad days and my rough days too. I'm not always perfect, like even with my fitness audience. When I be in my moments, because I do still have I'm not there yet. Like, I'm a fitness girly, but I haven't been like, I'm not the one that I don't go to the gym every day, I have my moments where I'll be eating trash, like, for like 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? I'm still in that period. But I'm always honest about it. Like, I've been having a bad week, y'all. I'm going to get it back together, and I just hop back in it. Because I do fall victim sometimes to my feelings. I'm still working on that to not go about how I feel in the moment. Right. And but I think the best part is sharing the bad, because a lot of people don't do that. On the internet, the internet is a real big thing now, and everybody always show the good parts, and that's when I decided, okay, and even when I was going through the Just Create program, right, I was like, it's okay. I felt okay to be okay with sharing the bad, like, and a lot of people resonate. And a lot of people resonate. Like, they be happy. Like, thank you for sharing that. Like, I see, like, so many people be telling me, like, I needed that, or like, I'm happy to know I'm not the only one going through that. Sometimes it's like more of a red flag when you don't see the not so good, because it's kind of like, hey, you can't be that put together. Yeah. Like, something got to be wrong at that point. So I think it just goes to show, like we said in the beginning, like, you're human. I think the more relatable somebody is, the more receptive you will be to hearing them listen to their story, and essentially be an advocate for what they have to go.
Yeah.
But the less relatable, I'm gonna tune you out.
Yeah,
or I'm
nobody
not
wanna
gonna,
hear that. Yeah.
I'm not gonna be a follower at that point
Yeah.
because it's kind of like I don't have something that we can kind of have as a commonality between us.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think that being authentic and then sharing the not so good as well as the good, it just goes to show that there's like a roller coaster. You're gonna have your ups, you're gonna have your downs, but hey, we on the ride together.
Yeah, and always every day. Like my favorite saying is every day is a new day to start over. That's the good thing. Like if God woke you up today, you got breath in your lungs. Guess what? You can restart. You can reset.
A quote that I always think about is going to school in the morning, listening to WJLB.
Yeah.
He'd be like, God woke you up. God gave you another day. What you gonna do with it? And it's like that's so real. It's like you got a whole new day. Like you can choose to do what you want with your day.
Yeah.
What you choose is gonna affect everything else. So it's kind of like, do you want to just be in the passenger seat and just let stuff happen to you?
Yeah.
Or do you want to take control?
That's so good. Yeah.
And be the person to dictate what exactly is gonna happen. Like today, I said I'm gonna go to work. I'm gonna be a feature on this podcast. I'm gonna go get me something to eat. I'm gonna go take a little walk because I know these are things that are fueling the better side of me.
Yeah.
So I'm choosing to create a good day and not just let the day just go by. You know what I'm saying? And whatever happens at the end of that day is because I told myself this is what my day was gonna consist of.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna feel good about myself because I knew I was in control.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even when you're not in control, obviously then God gonna do his constructing,
Maneuver.
but exactly.
Yeah.
But he's gonna make sure that whatever he allows is in tune with how you are at that moment.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love that. Yes, because that's like pretty much like what I promote. Like what I try to get through people's head. Like we have a choice.
We do.
Like we got choices.
Got a conscience.
And like I had, I got some stuff going on right now in my life. Currently. And it's because of some choices I made, you know what I'm saying? And the other day, I had to think about it. Like, I almost was like, man, the enemy is just trying to get me. And I'm like, I had to think about it like, no, remember, you decided, you made this bad choice, So now, this is the consequence of that bad choice. So you got to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? So, which I know God is going to work it out,
always.
Because I almost found myself stressing about it. And it's like, I don't know. I think since I prayed about it and I was like, I know better now. It's just a lesson learned. He'll figure it out. It'll work itself out.
Agreed.
But everything is about our choices. Yes, the enemy does, he'll attack us or whatever. But I feel like, I'm saying 80% be the choices that we make, and just make better. We got to make better, put ourselves in better.
Make better choices.
Make better choices, and be intentional. Be more intentional with yourself and what you're doing in your day, So I know I need to be more organized, which I'm working on. But that could help, Like you said, what you was going to do today, So everything is about intentionality and choices for me. At least that's what I think.
Agreed.
So, and then with your faith, how does that tie into your business and everything, or what you do for the community, everything that you do,
Yeah, I think for me, I'm very in tune with myself to the point where it allows me to give myself grace. My walk right now could definitely be better than what it is. But me knowing that is also giving myself accountability as well as other people accountability to check in on that, but also not just. How many times are you going to say that before it actually turns into action that you've taken to make it better? If you've been distant from God, well, then you the person that can close that gap. So it's kind of like, are you going to keep walking in this direction or are you going to keep walking in this direction? So for me, it's realizing that it's okay to be fearful. It's okay to not understand what's going on, but just know that those aren't things that of God.
Right,
God,
exactly.
And that lets you know that you're a little distant because you should just be planted. You should be rooted.
Yeah.
Now if you get discouraged along the way, hey, that's happens. You're human, but the thing is to always just know and have that faith that where you come from is a place of love, is a place of solitude, it's a place of peace.
Yeah.
And I think for me, it's just not just saying that, but also like truly believing that and making it a daily habit to implant it in my life. And I can honestly say that that has been a struggle of mine, and I just been doing my best to kind of put my foot forward. You know, I fasted. You know, I do my best to fast and kind of like just hear. I think sometimes like just sitting in silence and solitude that helps out a lot. And so that's part of my plan today. You know, sometimes I might tell somebody what's going on. Sometimes I might not. It might just come out. But it's just like at least I know that I'm doing some form of work to get better.
Yeah.
And I know that I know God sees me, and I know He knows that I'm doing what I can. But it's also like, hey, I want you to do better, and He knows that too, and I know that.
Yeah. You in my business.
You in my business.
Like, no.
I might be.
Because what? Like, no, because that's so true. Like, I've been talking about that, like, for this past couple of weeks. Like, I've been feeling distant, you know, from God. Like, literally, I just used that. I'm like, dang, I feel distant from God. But it's only because, and I know why, though. Like, it's not like, I don't know why. I'm just like, I ain't been in my word like I used to be, you know, like. It's almost like for me, I'm fitting God in instead of making him a priority.
What y'all be doing?
Clock it. So, yeah, like, that's what it's been. And I'm like, you know what it is. You know, it's just like you just said. But so now you need to be intentional. I need to be intentional about getting back to the things I was doing, you know.
Definitely be trying to fit it in.
Yeah.
Like he should already exist.
It's a priority. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because he don't fit me in, you know.
Like you're exactly. I'm giving you everything.
Yeah, so it was like I was feeling guilty about it, you know, like bad and like conviction, of course, about it, which is a good thing. One thing I'm glad is I'm happy about is God has not stopped convicting me, because I know once you stop, that's not a good thing when you
feel convicted, that lets you know the Holy Spirit is in you.
There. Yes.
He like hating. It's like that person like. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Like, it's like that one friend, like, you know, you wasn't supposed to do it. You know, man, trust me, I have those moments, and then I be sitting there like.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Like, you right. Like, I ain't got no excuse. Like,
it's like, no, you can't even say, you know, so.
It's like somebody, you know, like you get in trouble, somebody pick you up by your collar.
Yeah. Or like a kid you catch doing something like, now, you know you ain't supposed to be doing.
You ain't supposed to be touching that stuff.
Yeah, so, you know, like, but I don't know. Like you said, you just have to do, like, I just know I got to do better.
Yeah,
you know, so, and it's no excuse. It's not me like, oh, because I don't be like it. Well, like, I don't like saying, this ain't towards nobody else either. But, like, you know, the saying, you know, well, God know my heart.
Yeah.
You know?
He know your heart, but he also know he know your mind, too.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. You know.
Trust me.
But it's like, you know, we know better. You know, we know better, so we got to do better. That's all.
Big facts.
And then with him being a part of, like, it's so important to keep him a part of everything that we are doing. Because I just feel like he'll save it from things going downhill. I mean, of course, we're going to have trials. We all know that we're going to have tribulations. But we can make bad decisions sometimes, you know, even regarding business and stuff. I just feel like he'll give us the discernment we need to as well when it comes to that. So it's just he's just so important, like, to include him in everything. And I'm still learning to include God in every single part of my life. And that's even, like, especially, like, where I struggle bad at is it's finance part. Like, I don't think I fully gave that over yet. I want to say I don't think, I know I haven't fully gave God my finances yet. And when I say, I feel like he been beating me on the back of my head. About my finances, like, releasing my finances to him. And then I just feel like, oh my God, okay. Like, trusting him in that area.
That's the one. And I feel like for a lot of people, that is like one of the biggest things to let go. Because you know, we human. Yeah. You got to buy food, got to buy groceries, got to pay for rent, got to pay the car, got to pay the lease or the note, have insurance. You know, so it's kind of like it's like, are you gonna take all of that burden on yourself every day?
Exactly.
And it's like, I think that, and that's tough. Yeah. But I also feel like that's one of those ones where it's kind of like, once you truly give it over to him, he like, I got you.
Yeah. No,
I definitely had my fair share of moments where I was just like, God, I don't know how this gonna happen. And then the next thing I know, blessings. I'm just like, you know what? I should have just let go.
Yeah.
And let God. But don't let go and just think like, oh, it's just gonna miraculously
happen.
No,
it's gonna. You gotta do work.
You definitely gotta be in your word. You gotta be prayerful. Yeah. You gotta. It's like that saying, like, don't come to me when everything messed up.
Exactly.
And then everything get fixed, and then I don't hear from you no more.
Yeah, and that's one thing, because me being open and honest and transparent, like, that used to be me a lot. Like, I would pray something, like, pray for something so bad that I really wanted, or, be in my word, be with God about something, and He'll give it to me, and then it's like, I just leave him hanging.
Like, good looks.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And we do that. We have a bad habit of doing that, and that's something, like, I had knew once I came back into my faith and I started to actually build my relationship back with God. I was like, this time I don't want to go back. Like, I don't want to go back. So this is how I was like, instead of me going into my back into my faith as me seeking something from God, I'm just gonna go into it with, like, let me just build a relationship. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because it starts there. A lot of us go into it. We want something from Him. And that is, let's be honest, that's being useful. You want to use God. You know what I'm saying? Once you get what you want, He don't exist no more. So, but when you build a relationship, everything else just comes hand in hand. Yeah. And you don't have to worry about nothing else. So that's how I started to look at it. And then now that I'm here, I be scared. Like, I don't want to go back. Y'all, I don't never want to get back to that point where it's like He's non-existent in my life at all. Like, that scares me sometimes. Like, me being honest. So yeah, but it's so important to just keep Him at the center, and just get Him, release everything to Him. And also, like, going into it, like I said, just not wanting anything. Like, just go do it for just because who He is. I had asked somebody on the last podcast, like, I had to ask myself, like, if the one question, like, was if He was just it, you know what I'm saying? If He ain't give you nothing else, will He just be enough?
Would just be enough? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I still ain't answered that question. I'm gonna be honest, like that. I still ain't answered that. So yeah. You
know where you at though. So I think the best part is to, as open and honest as we are with ourselves, I think that's what God wants, because it allows Him to fill any gaps. And I think the more that we try to fake it, it's like He already see it. He already know it. So it's kind of, it ain't no sense. You can talk all good you want, but as soon as you get behind them closed doors, it's like, nah, what? You ain't got nowhere to hide. Yeah. I already know everything you done said, but I also know what you do on this day-to-day basis versus, like, putting on a performance for them. Yeah. So it's kind of like you gotta, and I say that, as I speak outwardly, I'm more so talking inwardly too. Yeah. Because it's kind of like you got to be accountable for your actions.
Yeah, for sure, and self-aware. That's one thing, like, too, that I'm happy that I became, is very, very, like, I know myself, and you gotta know yourself.
For sure.
So important, because if you don't know yourself, then you gonna put yourself in situations that you ain't got no business being in, and
that's where that conviction come right back.
Yeah. I be like, golly, all right.
You be telling yourself, I know I shouldn't.
Yeah. So yeah, and then with like, just I wish I could have had both of y'all, like, on at the same time, you and Eric.
Oh, me and Eric.
Yeah, because, like, with the
my twin and them.
Yeah, like, with the Just Create, what y'all have done with that is, like, it's dope.
Appreciate it.
Like, I love it.
We definitely appreciate it. I
love it. And, like, I think that, especially, like, for young adults, it's something that's needed, and how, like, I hear the stories, I've heard how y'all came together, but, like, how they don't know. Some of them don't know. So how did that come about? What you want to hear?
So Just Create was started It's always been Eric's vision, and he came to me like October of 2023 and said like, "Hey, bro, I have what was like honestly September, like probably like September, October, early October. I had this idea. I want to put together this group. I want to have people learn about Christ, but I want to also build community." And I'm like, well, I already was thinking about doing something where I want to kind of like do something with entrepreneurs or creators, and we kind of like fused it together, like off of the Dragon Ball Z, like, right. And we came together, and ever since then, it's just been like creative fireworks.
Yeah.
And I think the beautiful part about it is we both came into it at different walks in our life. And I say walks in terms of like he leads from the more spiritual aspect from his walking with Christ, and I more so lead from my strong suit, which happens to just be business, building relationships, being a salesperson. Like that's like my lane. And when you put two and two together, I learn from him. Yeah. He learns from us, and then we take that and we pour it out to other people to be able to kind of like foster the community. And I think everything that we do our best to show and demonstrate to other people, we've already practiced on ourselves. Even with our freedom equation of clarity, direction, execution equals freedom, we've had to experience all of that on our own before even articulating it out to other people. Yeah. Same way with our business equation, which is market research, brand and market research, offer and equals partnership. Yeah. We and Eric wouldn't have been able to get to the point of being partners if we didn't have a brand of our own. Me and him didn't do the market research, and then we didn't have an offer. Now that we did all of those things, it's easier for us to teach from those lessons. But then also, as we grow, we can just pour more into it. We have so many ideas, and we take information from what other people have been able to experience from just create, whether that be a Kingdom Nights or a Bible and Brunch or any other activity that we've hosted to be able to bring people in. And, we start from the word. Everything comes from Genesis 1:28. That's like the foundation scripture that we use. So everything is just, one is biblically rooted, but it's also practical. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We talk about being an influencer, creator, entrepreneur, but we also talk about like God was the first and the original creator. Yeah. Yep. So it's kind of like the name Just Create holds a lot of meaning behind it. Yeah.
And that's dope.
Appreciate it.
That's really
Make sure I be at the barbecue this Sunday, July 20th from 2 to 6.
Yup. We in that day.
I'm trying to tell you, you better have a good time. Good little adult field day, a little extra bonus. We're going to have some fun, some games. Yeah. A little spades, a little this, a little that. I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah. And then, too, I think people think, like, we're in a new era. You don't have to be, like, being a Christian don't have to be boring.
Yeah, no.
Like, we don't have to be bored. Like, we're allowed to have fun. Like, people think, oh, just because you a Christian or you building a relationship with God, like, it's boring. No, we have fun. Like, it be lit.
Hey, she said it, not me.
It be fun. You don't have to be, you know what I'm saying?
I was never lame.
Don't have to.
I love God.
Yeah, like, for any, you don't have to go drink and you don't have to go smoke and stuff to have fun. There's so many things that you can go do to have fun outside of that.
And I think to add to your point, we don't condemn people who do drink or smoke.
Yeah,
like, we more so all. Just like, if you come into our space, we just we ask the one, you respect it, but we also not judging anybody who may drink or smoke. It's more so just like, hey, if you come in here, you know what you're gonna get, and it's like if that causes you to refrain from doing those things, perfect. Because I'm somebody who I did do it previously in the past, but then I just got to a point where it was like I didn't want that to be a part of like my identity or something that I was leaning on as a crutch, or I was just doing with no type of like reason behind it. I was just doing this to doing it, and then it's not serving me in my walk. So it's just like, sometimes you gotta let it go. Is it a difficult journey? Yeah, 100%. But it also goes to show like your discipline, your obedience, and then just once you put your mind to something, you can overcome that in the first place. So, we don't condemn anybody. We don't say like, toot our nose up at anybody who doesn't do it. I listen to the same hip hop music that everybody else listen to. Added some, new gospel and rappers and singers to the list. So it's like, it just goes to show like you can be a human. You can be human while we're all flesh. So it's like, I'm not saying that as an excuse, but I am saying that upon your walking, upon building your relationship with Christ, nobody said, like you said, you can't have fun, or you can't do the things that,
Yeah, that's what I was trying. Yeah. And like, too, like what you said, I'm glad you just said what you said, because come as you are. You don't have to be. Sure. That's even like with God. Like everybody think you got to be cleaned up. No, like come as you are. And
I don't pay nobody bills.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. So what you do is what you do. Your relationship with God is your relationship with God. And everybody walks. And when you said like, how you said you and Eric came together at different walks.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good thing. Like everybody in your circle is not going to be at the same place, and that's something I had to learn as well. Like everybody's not, even like with my healing journey, my mental health, my relationship with God, everybody's not going to be where you at, and that's fine too. Like there's certain things that I stopped doing. There's certain, like me, I'll have a drink still, like but I haven't felt no conviction from that, from drinking. So I'll have a drink here and there. Like I don't just be getting drunk, but like conviction for me, I used to smoke weed, and I stopped smoking because I was using it as a coping mechanism. I was abusing it, and I was just didn't want to put it in my body no more. So that's something I felt God told me like to stop doing at the time, or whatever. So like just giving an example
100%
of like where my walk is and where that's me, so everybody is different, and we shouldn't judge nobody for where they're at. Get everybody, have grace just like God give us grace. You should give others grace as well. Don't toot your nose up and that be a problem. That's why a lot of people run away from Christ, is because Christians run people away because they always judging you for where you're at. So yes, that is a safe space. I've never had no bad experience. I love Just Create. I've met so many different people. I've made a lot of connections. So yeah, it's definitely a safe space.
Yeah, that's a lot trying to.
Man, you see it? Trying to get me.
Man.
So, I'm happy that y'all have created that space, for people, and stuff. So, yeah. So, I'm happy that you came.
Thank you. I appreciate it. This was definitely fun. I enjoyed the conversation.
Me too.
It's like a little therapy session, too.
I know. I was about to say, you kind of poured into me a little bit today. So, no,
Likewise.
but I appreciate you, Duffy.
Of course.
I was in y'all men's, and I still, once we start back, I'm joining back. You and Eric been mentors to me, and I appreciate everything I've learned from y'all. So you could tell them where they could, get them your social medias and everything about your business and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you can follow me on Instagram or Twitter at Mr. Duffy. That's Mr. Mr. Duffy, DUFFY, 3 Ys. So Mr. DUFFYYY. And then I'm also on LinkedIn, Andre Nichols II, or Facebook. Same. If you want to connect with me on those platforms, I'm on YouTube as Mr. Duffy as well. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, so we got the last segment.
Yes, let's get it.
Of the show. So you're going to take your mic off. All right, so I'm going to ask you 2 questions.
Okay.
First one is, how do you see yourself?
I see myself as a warrior. I see myself as somebody who is continuing to overcome. I see myself as a child. I see myself as a watering plant. Plant is being watered.
That's good. All right. I like that one. All right. And then second question is, if there was one thing that you or are rewriting in your script, what would it be?
One thing that I am rewriting in my script is how I am intentionally showing up for myself every day. That's one thing that I am rewriting.
All right. So once again, thank you for coming, and we hope and wish your businesses blessings, and keep doing what you're doing in the community. And we are out. We will catch y'all on the next episode of Rewriting the Script.
Thank you.
We out.